Oh man, you guys, I am so bummed. I had this amazing connection with a guy. I mean, we had everything under the sun in common. Everything that came up in conversation, everything that we ended up bringing up or laughing about or joking about or this happened to me today. So much in common. Like, it was shocking and so exciting to have this kind of connection with someone. And the fun thing is, we met the old-fashioned way, you guys. What a blast. Our first phone conversation was 3 hours. Our second phone conversation was 2 hours. And then a lot of flirting and talking and keeping in touch via text, and just so much to share. Okay, so here's what happened. On the first night we talked, he said, oh my gosh, we have to do this again. I'm like, yeah, we should do it in person. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll call you tomorrow and we'll set a date and time. He calls me tomorrow. We talk for 2 hours and I'm like, wow, it's getting, I have to get off the phone because, I got work tomorrow. Never asked me for a date and time. I'm like, okay. He's got his kids now for 7 days because he does week on, week off, which I don't do. So then we text and still nothing. No date, no time. He says he's going to call me on Tuesday so we can check. Doesn't call, says he's just putting his kids to bed. And that's all he said. No apology or explanation or whatever, but stuff comes up. Says he's going to call me the next day. No texting in the evening. No call, no explanation, no good night, which is all out of pattern for him. Nothing. So the next morning I text him and say, gosh, it's a bummer it didn't work out again. No reply. Sends me a wave during the day and that's it. Again, out of character for him. He's pulling away. So then it's Friday, the first day that he doesn't have his children now. This whole week's gone by. It's now Friday. And he's obviously not asking me out for the weekend. Only weekend is off without the kids for 2 weeks. He didn't make any plans with me and hasn't texted me good morning, again, pulling away. And so then I just say, what I have to say something now, because obviously we're not going out. I address the elephant in the room and I have boundaries. Like, you've now in 3 times in 6 days said you were going to do something and you didn't do it. Don't ask me out if you don't intend to follow through. That's not a form of flirting. That is just being mean, because I was really excited to go out with him and then it never happened. So somebody that breaks their word 3 times, says 3 times, I'm going to do something and doesn't do it. Major red flag, words and actions not matching, right? I say that all the time. So I practice what I preach, right? I send him a text and I just say, gosh, I'm really sad and I'm really confused, honestly, about what's happened. I mean, it's the first day that you don't have your girls and we have no plans. And so, keeping your word and honor is really important to me. That's a huge indicator. I really like you. I'd love to get to know you. And when you're in a better place, let me know and, we'll see what happens. No reply. So I didn't disrespect him or shame him or put him down for not keeping his word, but he deserved to know why I was putting my foot down. I left the door open. The other red flag is that he's been divorced 3 years. And not dated and doesn't want to be online. That's okay. But hasn't dated in 3 years. That's really weird. And his ex has had somebody from like the first 5 minutes that they were separated with the same guy living, they're engaged, whatever. Okay. Why haven't you dated? And he says he just hasn't met anyone. Well, you're not trying if in 3 years you really haven't dated at all. Right? You've got to put yourself out there and try. So what is the actual barrier here? Not healed enough, not ready to move on, not ready to date. So I was ready to just get to know him and get to the bottom of all that, but that never happened because he didn't give us a chance. But he needs to know that a quality woman's time is really precious. My time is precious. I'm a busy woman. I have multiple things going on. I have children here. I'm running a business. There's a lot that I'm juggling, but I always have time for someone special. You make time. You make time for what's important, and what's more important than love and having somebody special in your life, because having that type of connection is rare. I'm just bummed I didn't get to meet him once, because the truth is we could have gotten together in person and realized, well, we aren't a good match, but you know, it was really fun getting to know you. We might have been able to wrap that all up, button that up just with one date, 2 dates, and so we just won't know. I can't really be sad about that, because that's obviously not about me. That's about where he's at in his journey. That's about time. Maybe he can't manage time, and actually I've developed a product for guys like him that just struggle with time. Like, how do I do this? He had a whole week coming up without the girls. So I'm just sorry. There's no excuses there. He works out of the house 3 days out of the week. There's no reason that he doesn't have 1,000,001 opportunities to date when the girls aren't there. So anyway, yeah, it's a bummer. It's unfortunate, but I don't feel bad, because I need somebody that can figure their life out enough to date. But more importantly than that, that's willing to communicate with me about where they're at, like in their journey. Do I really want to date? I don't know. Does he? Does he, you know, want to pursue this? Even though he said it, his behavior and actions don't match that. Just open, flowing communication about what's going on. If I told somebody I was going to call them and then didn't, I would be texting them, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, this came up tonight, I'll call you tomorrow, and then actually do it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. It's just honoring your word and other people's time. So anyway, I can't have somebody in my life that's not capable of those things, just because those are my core values, and that's just what makes sense for me. And that's also the model I want for my kids. I can't have somebody that doesn't keep their promises around my children. So good luck on your dating adventure, guys, and I'll be back this Sunday with another story.